Hello again. Thank you for tuning in to this segment of the WATCHBOX review. And in this installment, I will be reviewing the Invicta 5017 that you see pictured right here. So let's take the watch out and let's see what makes it tick. Here's the Invicta 5017. Not the flashlight. Not the Surefire 6P, that's for another review. But here we go. This is the watch here that I'm reviewing. So, it's a 43 millimeter diameter bezel and a 22 millimeter lug-to-lug spacing on the strap, on the end links. All stainless. Some of it's polished. The center links are polished, and the side links are brushed. In fact, you can see some of the scratches already in the watch that I've put in this watch. I've been wearing it pretty much every day for about the past 4 weeks or so, and I'm pretty rough with my watches, so you can kind of see that there in some of the fine scratches and things like that. The bezel has remained intact, no scratches on the bezel or the crystal. It's got a nice little date magnifier window there, a little cyclops or whatever you want to call it. It is a dive-styled watch, so the bezel does rotate like so. So you can very easily set the stopwatch and monitor elapsed time. It rotates with a full 120 clicks around the rotation. And it feels pretty good. It's pretty solid, pretty robust. It's easy to grip, but not so easy that it's loose or going to dislodge itself from just wearing it every day. So let's try and get a close-up of the lugs. Strap lugs are right there. On the side, you can see some nice polishing, some nice metal polishing, and some brushed stainless on the front faces of the lugs. So. Let's see what else. Here's the crown. It's not a screw-down crown, even though the timepiece is 200 meters water resistant. So you're going to want to be very, very careful about this. You don't want to pull this crown out and open up the insides of the watch and expose it to moisture when you're wearing it in the water or getting the watch wet. So let's take a look at the clasp. Actually, it's really nothing special. Those of you who have seen or who own the 8926, that's the Miyota automatic version of this watch. Those of you who have that watch are going to be very familiar with this bracelet and clasp. It's the same one actually. So it's used on probably a couple other Invicta watches as well. So I'm not sure if you can see it, but here's the case back. Nice little 43 logo and a Pro Diver logo there. 43 stands for the bezel diameter, and it's a nice little screw down type of case back. You can see here the folded end links on each side of the bracelet. Even though they're folded end links, at least they don't rattle and make a lot of noise, so they did a pretty good job fabricating those parts such that it's a nice tight snug fit. So I don't know if my camera can do it justice, but there's a slight sunburst to the dial, and I'm going to try and capture that here in the light. I don't know if it'll work, but that's one of the nicest things. One of the nicest features about this watch is the face. I think they really did a good job on the face and the dial of the watch for a watch in this price range. So it's got very, very good glow-in-the-dark illumination, on par with my titanium Aqualand. My Citizens and Seikos are very well known for having very good, high-quality illumination and glow-in-the-dark paint. This watch, I think, is on par, believe it or not, with my Aqualand. So the dial indicators themselves are raised with some polished stainless steel accents. And much like the Invicta Kinotar that I review in my other web review, this watch here has some nice polished stainless hands that contrast very nicely to the black dial. So another nice little graphic feature is the little manta ray logo that you see there underneath the minute hand. And I think that's a new little graphic that they're using on a lot of their pro divers. So that's pretty much it. There you have it. Oh, let's take a look at the glow-in-the-dark illumination. So if you saw my other web review, I'm going to do kind of the same thing. I'm going to charge the glow-in-the-dark paint using a Surefire 6P, and we'll dim the lights and show you what that's all about. Okay, after a minute or so of light exposure, there you see the glow-in-the-dark illumination. Pretty nice, actually. This again, just to kind of repeat myself, I think they did a really nice job on the dial for this watch, and the glow-in-the-dark lume is probably the biggest surprise to me about this watch. It just glows and glows and glows. There was one time I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning, the room is pitch black, and I glanced at the watch I was wearing here, and I could easily read what time it was. So, a note about quality control. Some of these watches, you can see the second hand ticking around there. Some of these watches, that second hand lines up better than others with the dial indicators. So if you have a choice in store, take your time and pick a watch here where the second hand lines up pretty well with the dial indicators. So I've done that, and you can see here as it ticks around, it lines up pretty well for a watch in this price range. So oh, the other thing, there's no top dead center indicator on the bezel. As you can see there's no glow-in-the-dark indicator for the 0-second position on the dive bezel. So that's another thing to try and keep in mind too. So let's turn the lights back on and show you the box and packaging material that the watch comes in. Here's the box that it came in. It's a little bit smaller than the other Invicta watches that I've seen, but it's still obviously the same flare, same flavor. Little pillow here. Oh, actually, let me show you this. The little stainless links are pretty well made. Obviously, it doesn't have any screws or anything holding the links together, just typical press-in split pins. But you know, for a watch in this price range, it's pretty solid construction. You know, not too bad overall compared to $80 Casio, for example, or something like that. You know, it's a step up in that regard. So again, same pieces that's used on the 8926 automatic version. So let's see, some Invicta Manuals here up on the top, little instruction manual, little warranty service card, pretty straightforward. Nothing really spectacular there. So I bought this watch at Costco for $49. It was on sale for about a week, and I definitely feel like I got my money's worth out of it. It's a very, very well put together watch for someone starting out, maybe wanting a nice timepiece to get started with, maybe a budding collector, or just someone wanting a nice looking watch that looks like more than a $50 timepiece should. So the regular price for this at Costco is $99. So you're probably going to start seeing these like on eBay and Amazon or possibly other websites as well for around that price. So there you have it. Thank you for tuning in to this chapter of the WATCHBOX review.